Hello, everybody. It is so great to see everybody after our 2-week kind of Thanksgiving holiday that went on. We have a big show today. I am Linda, of course. This is Carl over here.
Hello.
Where is Carl? And this is Colourwerx Designs. We're streaming live to you out of Palm Desert, California. Today is, what is today? Friday, December 4th already. And guess what today is? Today is... Since we can't have our yay applause, because we always get dinged by Facebook for copyright violations for some reason for applause. So we'll do our own applause. Hello, everybody. Good Friday to you all. It is Friday, it's December 4th. This is episode number 24 of the Fab Friday broadcast. We are back to you after the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to be here every Friday now through Christmas. And what we're going to do is do something a little different. We're going to have the Brite Idea tips and tricks tutorial each Friday for you. So each Friday we'll bring to you a little tip or a little trick to make your quilting easier. We also have a huge announcement at the end of the show today that we want you to stay tuned for. And let's see, we want you to like and share this video. We want you to make sure you subscribe to our Colourwerx YouTube channel out there. Make sure you share this with friends, families, pets, because we want to grow our Colourwerx family. Speaking of quilt-alongs and Colourwerx peeps and family, we're going to start back on our quilt-alongs in January. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that in January, I'll be announcing it in the next week or so. We'll start up the Colourwerx quilt-alongs again. And so if you want to join the Colourwerx Quilt-Along Facebook group, just search for Colourwerx Quilt-Alongs, and then you can join the group. And I'll put a link in the comment section of this video after we're done today also to let you know that you can link in there. Okay, so let's see who's checking in from where. It's been a long time. Hello, Nedra from Arizona. How nice to see you here. It's great. I see all these familiar names popping up in the comment section as Carl's whisking through. Pat, oh, thank you for your comments on our floor. We'll get to the great kitchen bath remodel in just a minute and keep you updated on where we are with that. But Carl's been super busy. And of course, when I can't stand it any longer, I retreat up to the sewing room where we are now streaming to. Hi from Susan from Georgia. Hello, everybody. And Nancy's checking in from Indiana. That is great. And Julie, our favorite friend from Oceanside, is checking in as well. And Mary from Texas. I feel like romper room here. Hello, everybody. It is so great to see you guys. Thank you so much for checking back in with us. Okay, and who else? Kathy from La Quinta. That's like our next door neighboring city. That's great. Oh, thank you, Julie. Julie says, love the new earrings. These were purchased in Palm Springs on Black Friday. We did a little shopping downtown Palm Springs after Thanksgiving. And so these were the newest purchase from a store called, what was it called? Peepa's or something like that. It had just opened up on Palm Canyon Boulevard. So thank you, Julie. Yes, I like them too. They're very fab, aren't they? Very colorful and fab.
Susan says your earrings too that she loves.
Oh, Susan from France says your earrings love. Okay, let's check in with the cactus cam. Is anything going on out there? Because it's quite the activity is quite.
Just gone through.
What? Every time we go to the cactus camp, it's never, but it's a beautiful day. Look at that day. It's beautiful here in Palm Desert. The weather is gorgeous. We have like 72 degrees, and then it goes down to a really nice, crispy 40, 45 at night. So it's really nice weather. So make sure you like and share this video with everybody. Oh, Susan says the quilt behind you is beautiful. Thank you, Susan. Let me explain what the quilt is. We just thought it would be fun for coming up into the holidays. It was a quilt that we did for Craftsy Blueprint. So if you know, Craftsy is now Blueprint, and now it's not Craftsy, or it's back to Craftsy, but it's not available anyway. We have this in our stash, and we thought it would be a really pretty, coloricious quilt, Christmassy quilt to hang up behind us today. Of course, it matches my earrings, my necklace. Buffy says hi from Pennsylvania. Hello, Buffy. And so let's get right on to last time we were on, which was November 20th, right before Thanksgiving. The question of the week to win the $10 Colourwerx gift card was, what was your favorite Thanksgiving dish? And so let's announce who won the $10 Colourwerx gift card. Yay, Terry. Congratulations, Terry Petty. You are this week's $10 Colourwerx gift card. So if you wouldn't mind, please email me in the comment section because I did check beforehand. And so I do need your email address to send you the Colourwerx gift card electronically. But congratulations, Terry Petty. You are this week's winner. Everybody stay tuned for this week's question at the end of this broadcast and for the big announcement. So let's get on to things. If you didn't see in your newsletters, the Brite Friday sale is on. If you know from our quilt shop days, if you were a frequent visitor of Lindarella's Quiltworks back in Southern Pines, Carl and I didn't necessarily like or do Black Friday sales. And so we wanted to call them something different. So we called them Brite Friday sales. So of course, the Colourwerx Brite Friday sale is on. It's 20% off all patterns. So here's your chance to stock up on some favorites or give them away as Christmas gifts. You can buy paper or PDF and then send them to your friend. But they are 20% off at least until I think December 13th. So it's the whole week basically, but they're 20% off, and that is our Brite Friday sale coming to you from Colourwerx, 20% off all patterns. Okay, anybody else checking in from where? Phyllis, hello from Phyllis. Phyllis from South Cary, that would be Cary, North Carolina, I believe. And Cindy from Duluth, Minnesota, hello. You guys are so nice to be checking in and saying hello and also cheery. Anna says, love the quilt behind you, and the kitchen is looking great. Thank you, Anna. The floor was actually where we were in the last 2 weeks, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So let's get on right away to the tutorial. So this is just a Brite Friday tip. It's going to be a little short video for you. It's all about making these little snowball blocks, and the perfect inset corners here. So everybody knows you put a little square there, and then you're supposed to sew on the line that you draw, and then you flip it up. I have a couple tips to make that work out perfectly for you. I must apologize before the tutorial starts for the audio and lighting of the video I'm going to show you. Our audio and lighting man
was
putting floors in, and so I was left to my own devices yesterday and the day before, and I apologize. It did not come out well, meaning the video and the lighting.
And the
audio. The video is fine. The audio and the lighting, there are some glares. I wasn't wearing a mic, so I was letting the iPhone phone pick up. It's just all these horrible things with technology. So keep your finger on the volume button because you may want to raise or lower the volume at times. And you'll know in the last segment of the tutorial, I'll tell you this right now, that you can tell when I'm searching for my ruler because my voice becomes very distant in the background, and I didn't realize it until this morning. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is a snowball block. And if you like this block, and after you look at this little tip, the Brite Idea tip, you can download, if you go to that next placard there, Carl. Yes. So this is a free pattern available to you on the Free Spirit website under Inspirations or Patterns. And this was our Easy Sunday quilt that we did for the Kate Fawcett Collective several years ago. And it's a great, easy pattern, and it uses this block everywhere. So once you watch our little tip, you'll be a master blaster at making these little blocks, and you can go over to the Free Spirit website site and download this Easy Sunday quilt. It's a pattern. It's a PDF pattern. I will also post the link. I thought it was there this morning, but like with everything on Facebook, things disappear sometimes. So give me a couple minutes after the broadcast today, and I will actually put the link in the comment section and in the description of the video for you. Or you can head over to the Free Spirit website yourself and just go under Inspirations and download Easy Sunday. That's the name of the pattern. Let's roll the really bad tutorial video right now, but you'll get the gist. Right, the first thing that we usually do, or that we're told to do in our patterns, is to take our ruler and draw a line diagonally through the blocks that are going to be in the corners. These are the triangles that you see in the corner to make the snowball block. So we draw a line just like that with a washable marker or wash away pen. So I'm over here at my machine. You'll want to start with a leader piece, of course, because you don't want the fabric to get eaten up by the feed dogs. line up the block on the outer edge of your larger block to make the snowball block. And you can see that I've set my presser foot down so that this inset part of the presser foot right here is actually guiding across this line. So I'm going to show you a different way of doing this in a minute, but if you don't have what I call an edge stitch foot, you want to sew right above the drawn line. And you can see I'm gliding my needle right above the drawn line. I'm not actually sewing right on the line, and I'll show you in a minute why this is important. Right, a second technique to do, again, starting with your edge stitch foot, you're going to want to move the needle position, and the edge stitch foot is this one with the metal bar that goes down the middle, or it has like a plastic bar. Move your needle position one position to the right. So I'm going to do that. And I'm now going to glide the edge part, this metal part of the edge stitch foot along the line, but because I have moved my needle position one position to the right, it's actually going to guide to just above and stitch just above the sewn line. So all I have to do is keep my edge stitch foot on the line and know that my needle position is going to be right above the line. And I'll show you now when I take this to the pressing board why that makes a big difference in making your snowball blocks come out perfect. So I'm over here at my pressing board. I'm ready to finish this. Notice that I haven't cut away the extra fabric yet. I like to press my squares outward and then cut away the bulk when I know that it matches perfectly. Now, because I have sewn either right below the drawn diagonal line or right above the drawn diagonal line, when I flip this corner out to meet its matching corner here, it's going to come out perfectly or almost perfectly. What happens when you sew right on the line and not right below or right above the line, as I showed you before, is this corner will flip out, and almost always, 9 out of 10 times, it will come up short. It will not meet its corner down here. And you want it to actually match and meet the corner edges of the block that you're working on. And so what happens there is you'll always come up short, and it will be kind of messy and you can't trim it up. By sewing, like I showed you, right below the drawn diagonal line or right above the drawn diagonal line, you will always match this corner. So what you'll do is flip it over. Don't cut anything yet away. Give it a good press. Know also that, for instance, if this block, the red block, started out at 6.5 by 6.5, that this block will finish at 6.5 by 6.5. Just because you've added these little triangles or corner squares on, that doesn't mean that your block grows or enlarges or gets a different size. It will always come up to be exactly the same size as it started. I'm now back over my cutting board. You know, I flipped these out on the pressing board. They're nice and flat, ready to go. I now need to take away the extra fabric that's underneath there to reduce the bulk. So I would just flip the top triangle back over, or the top of this square over, line up my 1/4 inch seam right there, trim away that extra on both sides, and then just to be doubly sure, because I like to make sure everything is nice and clean and neat and trimmed down to size before I do anything else, I would just take my square ruler, and because I know this should finish out at 6.5 by 6.5, I would just put my square ruler on this, and if I had any little hairs or threads, I would just trim them away. But you can see that that measures 6.5 by 6.5, and so I'm good to go with my snowball block. Okay, sorry.
People, if you're going to try making videos at home like this, this is everything not to do.
Yeah, everything not to do while you're doing a tutorial.
Making a home video.
A tutorial video, sorry, but I hope you got the gist there. Yes, I mean, two things when I was looking at that, Carl, by the way, two things when I was looking at that video, I would like for Christmas. I think I need a new leader piece to go into my sewing machine, like a new little leader piece, wouldn't you say? And I think I need a new ironing board cover. Those were the two things I would like for Christmas right now. It was horrible, sorry, but you get the gist. So my point being is, when you're doing these corners here, these cornerstones, you're going to sew above or below the line, or you're going to sew above the line and in the direction that the square is being flipped to, if that makes sense. And the reason being, what I forgot to say in the video was, the reason being you're doing that is because by sewing directly on the line, your thread takes up space, your fabric takes up space. When you fold it, that takes up space in the seam allowance. And that's why this corner, when you flip it up, never meets the edges of the square it's going on. So by sewing just that really like a 1/16 of an inch above the line, just a tad, a hair above the line or below the line, when you flip it up and iron it, and this is before you cut anything away, you flip it up and iron it, it will then meet because you've compensated for the thread taking up space and the fabric fold taking up space. I hope that makes sense. So that's how you do perfect snowball blocks. This technique, and the edge stitch foot is really great. So if you have that edge stitch foot, just stick it in, move your needle position, one position to the right. All you do is then glide the edge stitch, the middle bar, down your drawn diagonal line, and the needle does the rest of the work because it's already been moved to above the line. This technique also works for flying geese units. So if you're doing flying geese units, and we know how frustrating these can be sometimes because you need them to be perfect and so they all match, this technique works for that as well. It works perfectly for flying goose or geese units. So go ahead and download the Easy Sunday Quilt. Again, go over to Free Spirit website, freespiritfabrics.com. It's called Easy Sunday. That's a free pattern. They have also a tremendous amount of free patterns for you to choose from there, not just the ones that we've done for Kay Fawcett, but there's probably 30 or 40 different free patterns, so I'm sure you'll find something that'll be fun. But if you've wanted to do snowball blocks and you were always frustrated by those corners never matching, that is a little tip, a little Brite Idea tip to help you. Never mind the fact that we need a lighting and audio guy in here.
We have some comments.
Well, comments. Oh, questions. Let's see. Oh, Mary says hello from Santa Margarita. Okay. Hello. And Buffy says, great tip. Thank you, Buffy. And Nancy, great ideas. Good. Give it a try, you guys. Nancy, I don't think the tutorial quality was bad at all. Oh, thank you, Nancy. You're very kind. You're very kind. But we did have some what was it called? Lighting refractions of the ruler going on, reflections, the dirty ironing board. The did you all catch where I was like searching, hello, searching for my ruler as the video was going on at the very end?
You have a question about your foot.
Yes. Is the edge stitch foot the same as the stitch in the ditch foot? It could be, Trudy. It's the one that has the bar in the middle. People use it for top stitching sometimes. They use it for stitch in the ditch, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you get that one with the bar in the middle, and keep in mind, you might want to do a test with your hand wheel. What I mean by that is, for instance, on my Bernina, I can move my needle position, one tick to the right or left, and I can still use my single hole stitch plate. So remember, check your single hole stitch plate and check by rotating your hand wheel slowly so that the needle goes down slowly and see if it will clear the single hole stitch plate. If it doesn't, you're going to need to switch your stitch plate out as well. But for my Bernina, at least, I know I can go one tick to the right, one tick to the left, and I'm still clearing the single hole. So just keep that in mind so you don't break your needle as well. Any other comments? Julie, this is how I do. I cringe when what did that say? I just missed Julie. I cringe when somebody cuts off the corner before pressing. Yes, don't cut these, I swear. Don't cut these away before you press because they are your guideline to let you know that you have actually got this flipped up and meeting the edges. That's your guideline. Because sometimes if you stitch a little too far above the line, you are going to have too much fabric and then you'll be too far above. And so that way you can compensate and know where this is supposed to meet. So I hope that helps. Kelly says, great tip. Thank you, you guys.
Trudy wants to know.
Number of the foot, please. The edge stitch foot, it's number 10, I believe, if you're a Bernina user. Number 10 is the edge stitch foot. Okay, so let's get on to the big announcement because Carl and I are super excited about this. I'm just going to bring this up. Here it comes. So our new fabric line, Colourwerx, here it is. This is the sales brochure. It's coming out in April 2021. So Colourwerx, it's a color wheel assortment of colors and fabrics, so to speak. And we'll be talking about this in more detail. We're going to show you a little video in a minute. This is I want you to let all your quilt shops know. Go order it. There's 12 SKUs in the collection. It's a new company from Island Boutiques called Sweet Bee Fabrics. So your quilt shops will need to go to their Island Boutique reps. So tell them to go to their Island Boutique rep, order the Colourwerx collection by Colourwerx. Let's show you a little preview. This is a new fabric line that Carl and I have designed. So here we go. Roll it. So of course, April 2021, we will have all the fabrics in our shop and we'll be kitting them all with all the brand new patterns that are coming out, but we'll talk about that next week and more later. And we'll start talking about all these new fabrics in detail in the next coming weeks. But until now, just know Colourwerx, and of course it's called #Colourwerx, coming to your local quilt shops April 2021. We are excited, Carl and I. We are loving what we're seeing here, and we cannot wait to have you guys use our fabrics, and we can't wait to show you what to do with these fabrics. So again, tell your quilt shops it's coming and have them go to their Island Boutique reps, those sales reps from Island Boutique, and order the Sweet Bee fabrics. And we'll talk more about this later, but we're super excited about our fabric line coming out. So that is coming to you soon as well. What? Oh, Kelly says, love all the fabrics. Thank you. We do too. It's been a labor of love, and we've been working on this for the last year or so. And like I said to you guys a long time ago, I think I said it a couple months ago, 2021, lots of great stuff coming your way. So we can't wait to show you what's going on. Susan says, wow, so happy for your your fabric line. Thank you, Suzanne. That is very nice. Merci, I should say. Okay. Anyway,
you're trying French as well.
Well, Susan's from France. I know, it's bad. So let's talk about this week's question for the $10 Colourwerx gift card. This week's question, of course, we're in the Christmas season, so this week's question is we want to know, what is your favorite holiday movie? Carl, what's your favorite holiday movie?
I like Holiday Inn. Holiday
Inn. Well, I do too, actually. We used to play that in the shop all the time. All the time. Does everybody remember Holiday Inn? It's Bing Crosby. It's Danny Kaye, who's great. It's Rosemary Clooney. Yeah. And I can't remember the other lady's name, but she has the super, super thin waist. And she's a marvelous dancer. She hooks up with Danny Kaye at the end. It's all about these pair of Broadway stars, Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye. They go help the ex-general at his inn in Vermont, and it's not snowing, and they bring the show to Vermont, etc., etc., etc. It's so fun. If you've ever been in theater like Carl and I was, it's very fun. So anyway, we want to know what your favorite holiday movie is, and so that's for $10 Colourwerx gift card next week. What else are we doing? Oh, we're going to talk about the kitchen remodel quickly. So in case you weren't catching up with where we were posting in the last 2 weeks, it kind of looked like we weren't doing a lot. We did take a couple days off for Thanksgiving, and so if Carl goes to the kitchen bath remodel slideshow, he's looking at comments at the same time. There we are. Are we on the front page? There we go. So that's the first slide. And that is where we were. We did flooring for the last 2 weeks, or I should say Carl did flooring. And when it got too intense downstairs, I just excused myself upstairs to the sewing room, is basically what I did. But this is where we started. We're using a product called SmartCore from Lowe's hardware stores, or Lowe's brand. And it's beautifully tough vinyl flooring. It goes down, it looks like wood. It's a beautiful color because it's kind of taupey gray. We started in the kitchen, we moved our way out to the family room. The next one shows you this was super tenuous, super like, I don't know, what do we want to call this? Like, this was stress. Intense. This is intense, stress, because we got out to the stairway, and of course we have this one, we are laying the planks, what I would call long ways. So when you walk into the house, it makes the rooms look longer because the planks are being, are out in front of you, if that makes sense. They're this way, as you see in the picture. Well, we had to make sure when we got out to this point that the planks were running straight and true across the stairway wall. And then if we go, let's see, what did we do next? I think we went to a tiki something, didn't we? We gave up for a minute. We had to take a break, and we went to the Aloha Hana Tiki Festival over in Palm Springs. That's where when we went shopping for these.
This is for my Aunt Jen in England, because I
yes.
was on the phone when we had to leave.
Oh, yes. So Aunt Jen in England, this is where we were going, the Aloha Hana Tiki Festival. And so it had this huge tiki and vendors and tiki music and, you know, libations and
then we came back.
Things like that. And then we came back and Carl was ready to tackle this. So we had that long line that had to be straight and true against the stairway. And then he had to back himself, if you will. That's what the photo on the left is. You have to kind of audition planks into the closet area because you have to have something to bang against to make sure that line stays straight and true. And so once he auditioned things into the closet, he then had to use all his superb woodworking skills and patience and which I am not patient. Skills. Yes, I'm not patient. So I had to leave several times. He said, "Get it, go." So I went and sewed. And he worked himself into the closet. We then took another break and we watched the flock of pelicans that come visit our pond every morning. So this is out on the golf course, and these guys come every single morning. I guess they're migrating somewhere, but they're a flock of pelicans or storks or something going on out there, and they are very funny to watch. And then we finally finished. So if we go to the next one, you'll see the beautiful job Carl did there. This took about 2 weeks. The baseboard still has to be done, but he gets into his zone when he does the baseboard, and that's kind of like, you know, I just let him get to it and things like that. So we're now moving into the kitchen. We're going to do cabinetry. Appliances are coming next week. It's becoming very exciting. It's getting done finally. It probably, you know, in all honesty, we probably won't be able to show you a before and kind of finally finished after photo until sometime in January, because we've got, you know, the kitchen cabinetry going up, and then the countertops have to come in, and then the tile guy comes in again last to do the backsplash around all the cabinetry and things like that and behind the stove. So, but it's coming along great. And in the meantime, we're working, we're doing secret sewing and all these things and enjoying you guys. And we so appreciate you showing up today. So that is where we are with the kitchen bathroom model. Oh, here, Carl's telling me to flash this again. Why? What?
Colourwerx.
Colourwerx. Make sure you tell quilt shops to order this from Island Boutique. So there are some other beautiful lines being put out by other designers on this particular fabric. So this is Island Boutique's new division, Sweet Bee Fabrics.
You do have to wait till April.
And you guys have to wait till April. That's when it's coming into shops. But shops can order it now, and you can talk it up with your quilt shop owners, and we would, of course, really appreciate that because we want everybody to be Colourwerx and get color, basically. Okay, that is it for today, December, what is today? December 4th. So we're going to be back with you guys next week, Friday, December 11th, not tomorrow. Friday, December 11th, we will be back with you guys with another Brite Idea tip or trick to share with you to make your quilting easier. Until then, what's Julie saying? Wait, Carl does great work on flooring. He does. It's a patience thing. It's his
quilting the floor.
That's right, Pat. It is like quilting. And so I was the template queen. So yes, and Trudy says, good job, Carl. I was the template queen, so I had to go in there and make the templates for Carl to cut the angles and things like that. And that's, you know, it is like quilting a little bit. But anyway, we really appreciate you guys checking in with us. We appreciate all your love, all your support. Go out and get the Brite Friday sale there, 20% off paper patterns and PDF patterns. Send them to your friends. Make sure you like and share this video. Make sure you share the Colourwerx love. We can't wait for that to come out. So good things are coming your way for 2021. Until we see you next week, same time, same Colourwerx Facebook channel. We will have a new Brite Idea tip for you. And until then, happy quilting, you guys. Stay healthy, stay sane, and happy Colourwerx quilting to all of you. Bye-bye.